Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Cape Rugby TV. We take a look weekly, of course, what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Big thanks to our partners on board with us here at Cape Rugby TV, Score Energy Drinks. As you know, they're of course on board with Western Province Rugby and the Western Province Club Rugby. Sevens, MChem 24-hour pharmacy. You just missed it on the screen behind me there now. Direct access to your financial services partner. And, of course, Thorburn Security Solutions. They look after all your events. Remember, you can win yourself a case of Score during the course of the show, so make sure that you keep your mobile phones handy. All you need to do is SMS the word SCORE to 33090. And, of course, CTC Sports has given us a set of 20 masks. You just need to jump on board and message the word, as you did with the Score, CTC to 33090. Folks, we've got a nice full show for you this evening. Of course, folks are busy out there. We're going to be catching up with Jerome Parvater. They're busy with the under-20s at the moment. They're busy with testing at the High Performance Centre, and they've got some more testing for the under-20s coming up this weekend. We'll catch up with Janita Jacobs. She is the under-20 coach at Kylemore. And she's also one of our women's coaches that is going to be taking part in the Western Province Rugby Coaches High Performance course, which is, of course, exclusively for women. And we'll catch up with Janine De Lange, the chairperson of St. George's. They are busy with fundraising at the St. George's Rugby Football Club. And we'll catch up with Gino Topley from Titans Rugby Football Club, who are also busy with fundraising initiatives. But we'll get the ball rolling with Janine De Lange, of course, chairlady of St. George's Rugby Football Club. Janine, it's fantastic to have you on the show again. We haven't seen you for a while.
Hi, evening, JP. We're all good this side. Yes, keeping up, trying to keep together, things together. Yes, going
Janine,
well.
you've been doing a great job. I mean, it's been 7 months now. For the folks that maybe missed the first few interviews in fact, am I right? Has it been 7 months already? Is it that long? But for the folks that have maybe missed out on some of the interviews where we had you've had your hands full for the last few months.
Yes, definitely, JP. With the feeding and all that, and in the meantime, the boys trying to keep them together, also organizing things to keep them together, and also focused. Yes, the community kept us very busy.
Just give us a quick recap there of the feeding schemes that you were doing in St. George's for the folks who maybe missed out on the previous interviews.
Okay, yes, we currently have 18 soup kitchens here in the Strand, or soup and feeding kitchens, ladies cooking in the different areas. And yes, we had one sponsor, it was Carousel, donating some rice and maize meals and stuff for the kitchen. So yeah, it's been going very well, thank you.
So you've been together with a number of call it supporters and management at the club. You've been collecting groceries, cooking it, putting it together, and distributing it in the gastro area.
That's correct. Yes, it's not just gastros here, but on the one side, but you could say the whole Strand area, as it's only not on the one side, the left side, the right, and the back, and all over these people in need. Yes.
Yeah. Janine, you've got another project, outreach project happening at the moment. Some fundraising for your coach Marwan, who's got some medical concerns. Tell us a little bit about the projects that you've got coming up now and the fundraising initiatives. I believe one of your first ones, in fact, is a golf day.
Yes, we actually had this past weekend. We had a car wash, which were very, very successful. We're very grateful for that. Yes, Birwan has been with us since about 2000, year 2000 already, and I think you were one of the youngest sportsmen of the year. So he's our community person, and also the boys also love him as coach. And yes, we really want to help him. This coming Sunday, we're gonna have the golf day, and then a week or so thereafter, there's gonna be a choir afternoon or something like that, also to raise funds to all his medical needs.
Janine, so can you tell us a little bit more about the golf day itself? How do people get involved and contribute?
Okay, yes, the contribution, there is names on the poster that they can contact. And for contributions, for example, the gifts for the golf day, I think tee off is before 6 already, as there's quite a number of people who would like to enter.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the screen now. I see it's in fact on the 29th of November at the Fairview Golf Club in Gordons Bay. Admission is 270 Rand. It's a 4-ball better ball. All right, that's what those 4 BBB stands for.
Yes.
Preferred drive, which means that I think if all 4 players they tee off, they take the best ball, which is great fun for people who want to get involved in. And then there's Boerewors rolls at halftime.
That's
Janine, you're doing all of this for Coach Marwan. He's of course in need of funds because of his kidney situation. In addition to the golf day, you did the parking driving experience. Just explain that to me. How does that work?
Okay, that's also something new to me. But as the Mirwan, I visited him last night, he said that's basically people come and park their vehicles, and then they open up the doors and open the engines for everybody else to come and have a look at it and see how nice and clean it is, or what kind of model they're driving, or something like that.
So, Janine, will this be ongoing? Will you be continuing with the the fundraising over the months to come?
Definitely, JP. As we cannot stop it because it's a very expensive challenge for him also, and this is definitely something new to all of us. It's actually the first that we know of at the club, and he's going 3 times a week for his medical checkups and things that he must go through, and it's a bit pricey. So yes, we want to support him.
I understand you've something interesting, and I'm going to have to hear from you first if this isn't in fact real. But I believe there's a boxing match coming up for fundraising purposes as well.
Yes, that's correct. That will be next year sometime. I don't know if it's February or March, they mentioned to me. And yes, Tariq and Manny is busy. Apparently, they're practicing already and getting their bodies in shape for that. Yeah, and people are not very excited.
Janine, very difficult, but I'm hoping, as we've seen there, Tariq van der Ros, Manny Williams, we all know each other. And I'm gobsmacked by how you've just explained it, and it just really reminds me of how people can stand together, and I hope that everybody comes that's watching now, as many people as possible that can contribute if they are in a position to contribute. Obviously, that at least they have a mechanism to do that. If people do want to contribute, in addition to the golf day and potentially watching the boxing match next year, how would they get hold of you? How would they reach out? Is it again a question of getting hold of you on Facebook? Is that the best manner?
Okay, yeah, JP, and on the posters they have their banking details as well, for contributions towards the medical bills and things like that.
Okay. Well, we'll certainly share that poster here on the show. Janine, we will then leave it at that, and well, we look forward to speaking to you again soon, and obviously wish you and everybody else out there the very best, and to stay safe under these still difficult COVID conditions.
Definitely. Thank you so much, JP, for having us on the show, and share and spread the vibe of reaching out to each other. That's very important.
Thanks, Janine.
Thank you so much.
We go, folks. Janine de Lange, the chairlady of St. George's Rugby Football Club, and well, leading from the front there. And if you can contribute in any way, then of course St. George's are having their golf day this coming weekend. And I would also suggest follow their progress on Facebook. See what they're up to. As you can see, they've they're raising funds for a very worthy cause. Folks, we'll take an ad break. When we come back from break, we'll carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Don't go away. Hello everybody, welcome back. We carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby, and joining me on the line now, and of course he's been on the show with us before. He's the match and is it match and relationship secretary at Titans, Gino Topley. Gino, nice to have you on the line. How are you?
We're good. You know, we have been taught in the rugby world to keep positive regardless. So we're good as a club. We are good.
From a player perspective, I'm assuming still no training. We know that those are the regulations. Have you been in touch with the players?
Yes. Every day, every week, really. Still doing the little fitness videos and all of those little things, keeping in touch with the players. We're doing little visits here and there, but training-wise, no, we're not really up and running as yet, sadly.
Yeah. Unfortunately, one of the drawbacks of COVID. But have the guys started thinking about 2021? Have you got some vision, at least, on the hope that we get back to normal training?
Yes, we are busy and sitting down with the coaches because we are wanting to get plans up and running regarding training, and where we actually want to kick off the season at. In January, there is a thing that the coaches are working on, which is like a CrossFit kind of challenge to see where your fitness levels are at. Who's been cheating, who's been lying about the whole I've been training, you know, kind of thing. So we'll see where the players are at in January. But until then, we're not yet field ready and all of those little things. So we'll get there.
Yeah. And you know, you guys have also been busy doing the media marketing and sponsorship workshop.
Oh, yes. We being, you know, with you guys, the help of you and your little team in the background and all of those little things. We are setting up things. There is coming things into place. We're setting up calendars for, you know, our approach is basically different, as well as the mentality we actually want to work on with the club. Unfortunately and fortunately, we are, you know, starting from scratch, I would say, basically. So ideas are being thrown at, and once we have concrete everything, and then, you know, everybody will, of course, be in line to know what it is.
That's great. Gino, over the last few months, Titans has also been very busy with outreach projects. We reached out to you, I think, on 2 occasions where you told us about some of the activities you were doing during the difficult COVID times, one of them being the Boerewors Drive as an example. But I believe that you've recently had to re-engage on that note and get the club behind a new project.
Yes. Besides the other projects that we are thinking of doing, as well as the ones we did in the last 2 months, I'll say, at the moment we are focused on one particular person, as that is our secretary at the club. Unfortunately, his house has burned down. So our focus has really been shifted to that, and to, you know, try and get the community involved and, you know, helping there where we can.
So tell us a little bit more about the actual initiative. You're raising funds. I believe you've got a Noodle Run this coming weekend.
Yes, we do. We did it before about a month or so ago. One of the community members also asked us, when are we coming back? And it was in planning, it was in process, but being us a very small club financially, we had to get things all sorted out. And now finally we can actually do one, and then we are looking at seeing about 4 areas. We're looking at the Philippi's, Scarpkraal and Pelican Park once again, and we're looking at Artery. So again, once again, the surrounding areas around Titans Club.
And you know, just tell us, what is a Noodle Run?
It's basically where we get to one particular point. We, you know, in little containers, we will dish it up in from, you know, the big 50 kg pots that we get it in. We dish it up, fill the bucket with it, and we go to the respective communities and, you know, give it out to the kids there, the people are there, the less fortunate, and all of that. But yeah, not really running, you know. But yeah, we just put it at the back of the bucket and we go see to the different communities from there.
So I'm assuming that everybody gets together and cooks a lot of noodles before going out.
We got a particular person that's helping out, and then this is where Busy Corner also gets involved, once again relying on them to actually get the food side sorted. And they usually do step up with things like this. And I wouldn't say people are really doing it. So we're just the manpower behind it, actually going around to the communities, actually doing the actual labor behind it. So yeah, thanks again to Busy Corner stepping up in that regard again.
Do you know, for folks that want to get involved, obviously you're doing this as part of fundraising in terms of your project here to raise funds for this very tragic incident. If folks want to get involved, how do they get involved? Can people get involved? Is it all around the Noodle Run, or are you also looking for fundraising in addition to that?
Okay, the Noodle Run was planned before the whole tragic event actually happened.
Right.
So this was also always just planned to actually happen on Saturday. The initiative to actually put behind what actually happened is that we got the sponsors involved, Busy Corner, we got the community involved, and things are slow. I do understand lockdown has affected everybody. Closer to the time now being Christmas, and people's not really wanting to spend money. So slowly things has been coming in from the community, from the club. Financially, the slowest part, but let's say the clothing, building equipment and all those little things that's still needed, it is coming in drips and drags. But you know what, we can't ask at this time too much of everybody. So whoever can get and give, we are on Facebook, our email addresses, and regarding this tragedy that happened, it is being posted every day for the help of the family, as well as if the banking details is needed, we do have it on hand for the family. Our email addresses, we all have a website, so inboxing us on Facebook, my details are always on there. So if people want to get in touch, we're always there.
All right. Gino, and then I believe you've also got a beach run coming up on the 12th of December.
Yes, this is basically where we're getting the players involved and, cleaning out our backyard. Right. We're doing the beach run. We are starting at Strandfontein. We are walking and working our way towards Muizenberg, cleaning the beaches, Right. I would always just say, use this as an excuse to actually see the guys. We are closely knit and we really miss each other and all of those little things. So we want to get the players involved. If it can't be on the field, it will be in things like this, and we do this while we can.
So then just to wrap it up, if folks do want to help out in terms of your fundraising initiative now, the best way for them to get in touch with you is to look for Titans Rugby Football Club on Facebook?
Yes, on Facebook. We're mostly on there, despite that we do have other social media platforms. You guys' number is there as well at the bottom of the screen. So if you people want to do it, get in touch. That number, my number, the club's details, email addresses, all on Facebook. So if they want to get in touch, by all means, we can always have a conversation on there.
Yeah, that's great. Tino, you guys are doing a fantastic job. I know there's a lot of difficult times, and of course, we would hope to see less incidents during such difficult time, but we wish you guys the best out there, and hopefully anybody that's watching now that wants to contribute can reach out to you guys and make things a little bit easier.
No, thank you very much, JP. And again, I know I have lifted my hand to actually, get our voice out there regarding this tragedy. But again, every little helps. We're just here to actually find out and, see what we can do for the family. They have lost a lot of things, if not everything. So, yeah. If anybody out there that can help with building equipment, appliances, the kids' wear, clothing, and all of those things, everything will be appreciated. But JP, again, thank you very much for what you guys are doing.
Thanks, Gino. We'll leave it at that. Best of luck, and we'll catch up again soon.
No worries. Thank you very much, JP.
There we go, folks. Gino Topley, of course, Titans Rugby Football Club. And if you can support in your way, remember you can find Titans on Facebook. Just go and do a search there for Titans Rugby Football Club. But folks, as you know, CTC Sports has kindly donated 20 masks, a set of 20 masks to Cape Rugby TV. Now, if you want to win yourself a set of 20 masks for yourself, then all you need to do is SMS the word CTC to 33090. Just SMS the word CTC to 33090, and you could put yourself in the mix to win a set of masks courtesy of CTC Sports. Of course, you have to fetch them at CTC Sports in Cape Town. Congratulations to Henry Boonzaya. Henry walks away with a set of 20 masks courtesy of CTC Sports. Folks, when we come back from the break, we'll carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Don't go away. Welcome back, folks. Cape Rugby TV. We carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. We haven't had him on the show for a while. He's had his hands absolutely full with the South African Under-21 tournament. Now, that tournament, of course, changes, whereas next year it's going to be an Under-20 competition. And joining us on the line from Western Province, from Newlands, from the actual office itself, Jerome Parwater. Jerome, fantastic to have you back on the show. Hoe lyk dinge daar?
Ja, JP, nee, baie goed. Lekker om weer terug te wees. Na 'n paar weke wat ek af was. Maar dit is goed om weer terug te wees. Ja, so ons het al weer beginne met die onder 20, so ja, lekker om weer terug te wees.
Jerome, of course, you've been fortunate in the fact that a number of your players have that you had in the under-21 structure are still under 20, and you're able to keep them for next year.
It's good. That's correct, JP. The plan was always to include these guys, to give them some game time with us, to prepare them, because we knew that the competition is going to change to under 20 next year. So I'm fortunate to have all these guys, and I think province was one of the few provinces that had under 20 guys in playing.
Jerome, what does that mean for the players in terms of having gained that sort of experience under 21? Now you go into next year and they've managed to train in quite a senior level. Does that help the players?
JP, that's massive. For example, the whole pack of forwards, almost 95% of the pack of forwards, I had both the locks. I had the whole front row with the hookers, with 2 hookers, who's still under 20. So that's good. And I mean, the guys stood up in the competition. As you know, the guys who play under 21. So it's massive for these young guys. And like I say, we're fortunate, especially a lot of these guys were forwards, to gain that experience.
Jerome, when we talk about the testing now, you say that the players have now managed to take a little bit of a break. I'm sure a lot of the guys have written exams and so on. But now you're bringing them in for testing. When we talk about testing, what does that mean? What is it that the players actually go through?
The testing is basically, JP, we, like the physio, have a section which he tests, like you'll see if they're strong enough, if they have any niggles, because we had guys with niggles when they left, the guys who played for us, and he just tests them to see where they are. So they do, for example, like certain stretches that they do, hamstring tests, and any other test to see. That's what the physio is doing. And then they obviously go into the gym, and then they do the skin folds with the conditioning coach Nasir.
Right.
Skin folds to see if they pick up fat and their body weight. So just like a baseline test to see where they are, where we left them and where they are. Some of them came back a little bit overweight, but some of them actually managed to do stuff in this 3 weeks because we gave them programs when they left.
Jerome, now that they break for a while, do you have any idea when? And when we talk about break for a while, we're talking obviously that most of these under-20s are either at school or at university, or are they all at university?
Yeah, what we did before, there's some of the guys who's also joining us who's finishing off at school, who were in our structures, some of the guys who were part of Craven Week. So we tested them before the school's exams start. So they busy writing exams at the moment. So now most of the universities are done with their exams. So that's why we only have the university guys in now at the moment with the testing. So we've done the school boys.
Jerome, then you've also got some exciting things happening this week. You're extending the testing, and as you say, the testing is not necessarily physical tests. It's to get a baseline understanding. You're actually opening that up for the clubs this weekend.
Yeah, so exactly. So we're gonna do the same sort of testing with the clubs this weekend. The under 20 guys coming in, and we actually send out to the clubs that they can send 5 players per club. So hopefully we will see a lot of club guys coming in and test them and see where they are. And yeah, and try to help them because there's no club rugby at the moment. So I think the guys must be excited to come in and yeah, just to start with some rugby activities.
Jerome, for a club player to come, and I'm assuming that they will come with their coach, for a club player to come in, is there a big difference between, for example, club testing and what they would experience at Western Province under those professional circumstances?
Yeah, it's very different, JP, than what we do here. Like I said, with what the physios do, he's got his role, and what the conditioning coach do, he's got his role, and then on field, what we do as coaches. So it's very different to the testing that the guys are doing at the clubs. We first have to see where the guys are before we let the guys run.
Jerome, we just lost you there. I think the line is starting to drop a little bit, but we're of course hoping to catch up with you soon. Have you got any shout outs or messages for the club players out there?
Yeah, look, JP, we had a lot of club guys playing in the under 21 competition, and from our side, from Western Province's side, we're not afraid to give club guys an opportunity. So hopefully, if they come Saturday, and we also understand it was tough times now, so we won't be that hard on them, but they must use this opportunity because there are opportunities to make the side. And obviously hopefully next year we'll play like a trial game to give everybody a fair chance.
Jerome, we'll leave it at that and we'll say thanks to you and we'll catch up with you again soon. And of course, remind you to stay safe out there.
Thanks, JP. Hopefully I can give you some positive feedback about this guys on next week.
We look forward to it. Thanks, Jerome. Folks, don't go away. When we come back from break, we carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Right, folks, and now also joining me from Western Province Rugby, Club Rugby Manager Faisal Felton. Faisal, nice to have you there. I see you've taken the seat from Jerome.
No, thanks, Joe. We're back in the office, as you can see. So, yeah, slowly getting back into the grind. And, you know, like I said, looking forward to hopefully being playing rugby again.
Faisal, when we're talking about that, obviously everybody at the moment, COVID is the big component that people must be very concerned about right now, is the COVID compliance and doing their online certificates.
No, definitely. I think from the club side, we've had a number of workshops in terms of educating the clubs in terms of what's required, what's in place, and from the club side, identifying compliance officers. So I think from the union side, in terms of government regulations, we're sort of good to go. It's now up to the clubs basically to make sure that the necessary protocols are in place, and then in turn submitted to the union, and then we issue an operational certificate. So we've met with the city. I think from the city side as well, you know, they also basically have ensured that the facilities are available. So it's up to the clubs and just to make sure that they tick all the boxes.
And one of those boxes is going online to the World Rugby website and doing your online certificate there.
Yes, so it's all about education, and the key thing is with the World Rugby online course, it basically just gives you more awareness in terms of the virus and what it's about, but it's not only for the compliance officers, it's also for the players. So yes, I think that's the key thing, is education.
And then another exciting thing that you've got starting this weekend is this, I believe it's this weekend, or is it next weekend, the Women's High Performance Coaching course, which is exclusively for women.
No, definitely, JP. I think from our side, we've started a number of programs. Tonight, we're meeting up with the ladies' clubs in terms of looking at starting, you know, women's rugby, women's committee, also looking at, you know, the club structure, trying to see how we can facilitate and attract more to, you know, from an administrative point. But as you mentioned, next week we have our workshop whereby, or at least level 1 coaching course, whereby we are identifying ladies that are going to be doing coaching courses. But I think the key thing about this and what's different about it is that it's not just your normal level 1 course. We basically, taking, ladies by the hand, and it's only females attending, which means we're hoping that people will feel a lot more comfortable talking, in that space.
Yeah.
But the other good thing is that we're having workshops on a continuous basis. So every month we'll be having a workshop which will be focused on specific points, whether it's defensive, breakdowns, that type of aspect for going into the new year as well.
That's fantastic. And then Faisal, just a last question. You also had your first World Rugby Level 1 coaching course last week, Friday at Newlands. Give us some feedback. How did that go?
No, I think it went off fantastic. The feedback was great. I think from Nazim and also from the applicants that attended that course, the feedback was excellent. The protocols, obviously the first course is always a bit of a challenge, just familiarizing yourself, checking and making sure that we tick all the boxes. So I think we restricted the amount of applicants to 20. But the key thing is that, from a level 1 perspective, everything went off fantastic. We had it in our railway mall at the stadium. If people don't know where it is, you'll know that it's a massive wall that we have on the railway side. So from social distancing, everybody felt comfortable attending the course. So it was great.
Right, folks, we're of course looking forward to seeing the under-20s on the park next year, and of course the change in that competition format. Right, remember, if you want to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks, right there you see the logo behind me now, Score. If you want to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks, it's very easy. You just need to SMS the word SCORE to 33090, 33090. You put yourself in the mix to win a case of Score energy drinks. And congratulations then to last week's winner, Charles February. Charles, you walk away with a case of Score energy drinks. Folks, don't go away. When we come back from the break, we'll carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Back in a sec. Welcome back, folks. Cape Rugby TV. We, of course, carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. And as you know, it's the start of the Currie Cup this weekend. The DHL Western Province Rugby Currie Cup side is getting ready for action. They start off their first match, their starting campaign, this coming Saturday at DHL Newlands, where they take on the Vodacom Bulls. And we went down to the High Performance Centre in Bellville to catch up with some of the players on a rather wet day, to catch up with some of the players behind the scenes.
Yeah, definitely. We went. We were obviously busy 6 weeks in a row, so I think it was a blessing in disguise to get that week off. Also gave us some time even more time to prepare for the Bulls, which will be a big one this coming weekend. So I think the rest and the preparation time will do us good this week. Yeah, it's always an honour wearing the blue and white hoops. You grow up in Cape Town, that's the first thing you see on the rugby field. It's your dream to be there one day. And especially now, if it's the last year at Newlands, it makes it even more special with the history, just to obviously end off on a high note and give the old lady a good send-off. Yeah, we don't mind playing in the wet, It's Cape Town, we're used to the rain here, not this time of the month or this time of the year, but I think whatever the weather is, we'll be ready for. Yeah, I think Cape Town always blessed with lots of talent here, and the guys have been getting opportunities and putting their hands up and making the selection difficult. So I think the boys really, it's quite competitive here right now, making the team. So I think it's good for rugby that it is like that, and just makes the depth that much better. No, we're excited, obviously, once again, just to be playing rugby again, first and foremost, but excited for the tournament at the end, and I think we'll do our best to end at the top of this competition.
Nee, ag kyk, ek moet sê dis eintlik lekker dat ons nou sommer dadelik in 'n ander toernooi ingaan en ek bly hulle het sommer so 'n double header gemaak sodat in die ou tyd se Currie Cup was, so 'n paar jaar terug. So ek moet sê dit is nog ons lekker en nou vang ons op met die rugby, veral met die dat ons die super rugby gemis het en nog boonop die Currie Cup. So ek moet sê dit is nog ons nice dat ons nou kan deel wees van die Currie Cup en dit is nog spesiaal vir ons want dit is nou die laaste Currie Cup op Nieuweland. Ja, kyk ons gehoor het die game was af, toe was die boys maar bietjie negatief, maar ag, die dat ons Saterdag af was, het beteken ons kon tyd met die familie spandeer wat lekker was, want ons in die laaste tyd nog heeltyd weg games gespeel, so was baie lekker om by die huis te kom wees en bietjie te rus. So die ouens het gister hier aangekom, lekker vars gevoel, die ouens het goed gelyk, so is 'n lekker week sover. Ons sien uit vir die bulle. Ja, kyk wat gebeur het daar in Loftus. Ons praat hier regtig veel van dit, want dit het seer gemaak. Ons was glad nie op ons standaarde nie. So dis tyd dat ons nou net vir hulle teruggee. So die boys sien regtig baie uit. Ons begin met ons werk al laasweek ons voor die game kanselleer. So nou en is op Nieuweland en dit gaan 'n groot game wees. Al gaan nog nie skare wees nie. En ons gaan dit definitief bring met die manier hoe ons oefen en wat ons moet teruggee vir hulle aangesien wat gebeur het in Loftus. Ja, kyk, dit is altyd spesiaal om die wit en blou trui aan te trek. Dit het net soveel geskiedenis in. En om te dink dit is die laaste Currie Cup by Nieuweland, gee dit net soveel meer waarde, as ek dit nou so kan sê. En kyk, die boys sien regtig baie uit en is 'n bietjie ekstra motivering vir die dag, vir as jy nie lus is die dag om te oefen of iets soos dit nie. Dink ons maar net aan dis die laaste Currie Cup by Nieuweland en nie almal gaan dit kan sê nie. Kyk, en ons is nou die laaste mense wat daarop kan speel, so is vir ons baie spesiaal. So dit gee 'n bietjie motivering vir die manne hierso. Ja, nee, kyk, ek sit so bly ons kan nou weer rugby speel. Dit was nogal staf geweest om hoe lank nie rugby te kan speel nie. En om nou net te speel, dit voel nou weer asof ek 'n kind is. Speel elke naweek vir my skool. Dit voel amper soos dit. Jy weet jy gaan sommer speel. So dis lekker om dit nou weer te kan doen. Mense die skare kan kom. Maar ons weet hulle support ons van hul huise af en so.
Ja, ek dink die dinge verander nie. Ek dink ons het van die begin af na die sort of lockdown het ons begin met ons proses. En dit was altyd met om te peak op die final van die Currie Cup, so dis waarna toe ons bou. Dit is nou obviously frustrating dat ons die naweek kon speel nie, maar ek dink naweek wat nou kom is 'n lekker challenge teen die bulle. Het gaan lekker wees om in die hoops weer te speel en waar alles begin het om vir Western Province om WP te speel. Ja, het gaat definitief lekker wees. Ek sal nou nie sê ek is 'n veteran nie. Ja, leer nog steeds elke dag baie, maar dit gaan lekker wees op Nieuweland. Ek bedoel, alles wat ons nou doen is die laaste wat gebeur op Nieuweland, is die laaste wat ons teen die bulle speel in 'n WP jersey. So dit gaan exciting wees en ek dink is 'n great challenge vir die ouens om aan te pak. En hopelik kan ons die naweek deliver. Ja, ek dink dit gaan definitief 'n groot game wees. Soos gesê het, is nou unlucky dat daar nie spectators kan wees nie. Maar ek dink die boys is fired up. Obviously het ons in die Super Rugby unlocked het ons verloor teen die bulle en is iets waaroor ons nie trots is. Ons het nie 'n goeie game gespeel daai nie. En ons wil dit definitief regmaak. So hopelik die naweek soos ek gesê het, wil ons uitkom en ons wil quality rugby speel. Ja, ek dink dit was maar vir almal taaf. Ons is nog gelukkig om weer te kan rugby speel, maar vir die klub ouens kan ek net imagine hoe dit moet wees. Hopelik is daar nog 'n paar ouens wat kan terugkom en kan speel as die klub rugby weer aan die gang is. Ja, maar net ek dink vir hulle is dit net om fiks te bly. Dit is moeilik. Hulle word nie betaal vir wat hulle doen nie en so aan, maar net om fiks te bly en laat die liefde vir rugby, laat dit nooit uitdroog uit hulle uit en laat hy fire vir ewig sal brand en laat hulle net sal aanhou.
There we go, folks. The DHL Currie Cup side getting ready for action this weekend. It is, of course, Currie Cup starting this Saturday at DHL Newlands, where we take on the Bulls in what is typically a north-south derby. It's going to be a great match. Looking forward to that. Folks, as you know, on a weekly basis, we take a look at some of the public reviews that come in on MChem 24-hour pharmacy. MChem is, of course, on the corner of N1 and Durban Road, and you can there, in fact, see the picture of the pharmacy behind me. And on a weekly basis, we take a look at the public reviews. Now, this week's review comes in from El Ontong. He gave MChem a 5-star rating and says, great service, very friendly staff. Whenever I need pharmaceutical products, I literally go out of my way to do my shopping at MChem. El Ontong then giving MChem Pharmacy a 5-star rating. Right, folks, every staff member at MChem 24-hour pharmacy is, of course, geared to help you with all of your pharmaceutical requirements. From the minute that you park to the minute that you leave, MChem staff are there to help you with whatever you need, whenever you need it. And that's, of course, MChem's promise. MChem 24-hour pharmacy is always open and there to help you 24 hours a day, every day. Folks, don't go away. When we come back from the break, we'll carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Back in a sec. Welcome back, folks. Cape Rugby TV. We carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. And, of course, as you know, over the last few months, we've been focusing a lot on women's rugby. We've had a number of women coaches on the show with us. Of course, Babalwa Lacha, the captain of the national ladies Springbok side, was on the show with us, I think, on more than one occasion. Of course, we have had Laurie and Johannes Haupt on the show, and a number of the coaches that are actually at club level. And as you know, at the moment, there is, of course, the high performance coaches course, which is exclusively for women, happening at Western Province. But one of our coaches at Western Province Rugby, specifically from Kylemore, and she's been involved for a very long time. Juanita Jacobs. Juanita, nice to have you on the show.
Hi JP, nice to be here.
It's the first time for us to get you on the show. Let's get straight into it. How long have you been coaching?
I've been coaching since 2002. I've been playing provincial rugby for 3 provincials. I started in Sasolburg, played for the Kempton Wolves, so I traveled from Sasolburg to Vanderbijl Park. I played for the Falcons, the Lions and the Blue Bulls. And when I came back from Sasolburg, working for Sasol, I started playing for Peniel here in Stellenbosch. And that's how I started playing rugby, coaching at schools. Started at Cloetisville High in Cloetisville, a community in Stellenbosch, and then moved on to various communities. And now I'm coaching the under-20 men at Kylemore Rugby Club in Kylemore, but otherwise I'm also coaching at schools.
What was it that got you started? What made you decide to put on the rugby boots?
Well, it's actually a long story, but I'm actually a netball player. I played for Boland. And so when I got a vacancy at Sasol in Sasolburg, I moved there, started to play indoor netball and start jogging and keeping fit. And then in Vanderbijl Park, the Kempton Wolves were practicing specifically that day. And they asked me if I would love to play, and I just started playing for the club, and that's how it started. So it was never a difficult decision because I've been playing sport forever and doing so.
Did you have a favorite position, a specialist position?
Specialist. I started with inside center when I was still playing for the Falcons, and then at the Blue Bulls they put me on a wing because I'm a sprinter.
Yeah.
And then so I love playing inside center, And now then I moved a few years ago to forward, so I can hook, I can play flanker, and I ended off playing eighth man at Peniel. So yeah.
I kind
So
of,
there is no
yeah.
specific. So yeah.
Jonita, so listen, you've been involved with coaching for quite a while now. And in fact, it's very interesting that quite often we do interviews with our coaches and we find out they've got provincial experience. And in some cases, even some of our coaches have got national or international experience. So you come out of a place where you've played provincial rugby. How has that helped you? You're coaching the under 21s, at least the under 20 side at Kylemore now. How has you being a provincial player helped you with coaching?
Well, it helps me a lot. And internationally, I went and played under Kurleni tour in Ireland, a little bit of rugby. So I've got that experience. And playing for on a provincial level gave me the experience as a player. And then when I got involved in coaching, especially men, it was a challenge. As you know, we as women, men not always just welcome us with open arms. So it's challenging. Yeah. But because I'm also a life skill coach, so I use rugby as a tool for life skills, so that I empowered myself, equipped myself with skills to know how to handle whatever situation. So that's how I started with first just school rugby, and then the club asked me to get involved, and then I had the second team, and then I moved on to the under 20s because of the involvement with the high school. So that's how I got involved with coaching, and I'm not specifically just coaching men, also women.
Now, Western Province Rugby is launching a coaching course here, which is exclusively for women.
Yes.
Are you going to be joining?
Yes, I'm joining. Next week we're starting, and I'm so excited. I've been always coaching on a grassroots level at schools. I do see individuals on the farms. Most of the high performance coaches don't go. So I'm there in schools, on the farm, seeing talent and identifying it. So it would be great to combine that with a high performance coaching course that I've been selected for.
So you've been involved with skills development and grassroots development for a long time. I mean, we've actually known each other for a very long time as well. And I've been very aware of the activities that you've done. You're always busy with projects and campaigns and that. Where do you see this going? We've got a number of women coaches now getting specialist experience at a very exclusive level. Do you think we're now going to maybe see more women coaches, more women clubs, more women teams out there?
I think it would be a great start. There is already some women getting more involved than usual, but then a person like myself will be then equipped and being moving in different channels and getting opportunities that I can channel to the schools / the farms, the local clubs. So, and I think it's going to expand a lot because we as women do have girl pride when it comes to sport specifically, and in this case, rugby.
All right, Jonita, of course, this course is going to be rolling out for quite a while now. What's next on the cards for you? You are still the coach of the under-20s at Kylemore. Is it a question now of just waiting for COVID to go away and you can get things stuck in there, or are you able to maybe at least have contact with the players in some way?
Yes, JP. I'm still the under-20 coach and at Kylemore, and what we do is we do hikes. So Impact Through Sport create opportunities, it's an MPO here in Stellenbosch, create opportunities where, although there's COVID, we still have our social distance, but we as a group of young men want to play rugby, go on hikes, and so we hike and we stay close in contact, and then sometimes I do offer some workshops with life skills, what to do, how to keep you busy, how to keep out of harm's way through the COVID. So we are very active here in Kylemore.
Jonita, tell us a little bit more about Impact Through Sport.
Well, when I came back from Sasolburg, I resigned from Sasol and started the MPO Impact Through Sport. Yeah. I'm based in Stellenbosch, more specifically Iris Valley. I do have an after-school program. So this is where the rugby came in first.
Right.
So the idea is that grade 6 to 7 stays after school, and then after doing some talent identification, then help them not just with the rugby technicals, but also the education side.
Right.
So the project that Impact Through Sport is currently busy is closing the gap. So we as Impact Through Sport are closing the gap with skill development.
Jonita, I think we're going to leave it at that. You're doing a fantastic job.
Thanks, JP.
We're of course looking forward to chatting with you again and following your progress and the rest of the women that are going on the high performance coaching course, which is exclusively for women. And we wish you the very best of luck, and we look forward to chatting with you again soon.
Thank you, JP, and it was great being here. And all the luck to you, and be safe and enjoy the rugby.
Yes. Thanks, Jonita. Thanks, Jonita. Folks, we're of course looking forward to following Jonita's progress. Right, folks, that's a wrap from us here this evening. We're looking forward to a lot of action this weekend. Then, of course, the DHL Curry Cup side, Western Province Curry Cup side taking on the Bulls. And we can't wait to see who is coming for testing at City Park this coming Saturday. That's a wrap from us. We'll see you again next week. Same time, same place. Have a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.